Well, so we have to do the newspapers. And Mama Vio Sabuaje is here. Mama, how are you?
Glory, glory, my United. Can we play the anthem, please? Hello, good morning. Hi there, Chelsea fans. Are you watching the show? Good morning to y'all. You were hammered yesterday.
Oh, why you guys drew? I don't know. Why are you happy?
We're not talking about, we got a point. We're talking about Chelsea. Are you hammered or not? What a way to lift a cup.
We're playing against the champions at the time. We were able to climb.
No, say it again. You were playing against?
I'm playing against the champions.
That kind of clear.
Did you play the champions? No. I don't know why you're doing this. I have some headache this morning. So.
Of course you will have a headache.
Oh, it's not because of Chelsea.
Now you're chasing a point.
It's not a problem.
Oh, unfortunately, I think it's unfortunate. My director this morning is also from the same camp, so we won't get the anthem.
He's a Barca fan. He's not a Premier League person.
All right, guys. We thank God we're alive, back and well. Time for us to do the newspapers. If you miss the news, don't worry. We've got you covered. We have the newspapers, and we will run you through pretty much what's happening today. The media budget is high on our agenda. But let's start with the Daily Graphic newspaper. That's the paper that I have now. Front page, police warn lawbreakers at registration centers, say cases of violence being investigated. And they issued a statement yesterday, a very long one indeed. Details of that we will share with you. Minister's directive to GBC undermines constitution. The NMC reacts on the directive to cut channels from 6 to 3. Remember that issue. The NMC is speaking now. I was never flown out. That's the president. Remember when he was in self-isolation, some people said he had gone to the UK to treat coronavirus. He's cleared that issue. Blame political actors for violence. That's the Electoral Commission from their briefing yesterday. Let's do the back page of the paper. Fire guards Koforidua Central Market. Zipline delivers 79,800 medical products via drone. So that's what's on the back page of the paper, and that's what's on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper as well. We'll come back and tell you some of the stories in some of the inside pages. But let's continue with the Ghanaian Times. Front page of the Times now. Finance Minister outlines measures to boost economy amidst COVID-19. President cuts sought for construction of 600-bed Eastern Region Hospital. GBC's DTT platform Bruhaha, National Media Commission, kicks against Communications Ministry order. Disturbances at voter registration centers, deal with troublemakers, ECTEL security agencies, and GetFund issues 2-week ultimatum for contractors to go back to sites. On the back page, Central Region fishermen receive 300 subsidized outboard motors. Rehabilitation of Wamko, Efiekuma Road, begins. And so the business finder that turns business on Thursdays. Of course, media budget expectations high. ICU pushes for extension of subsidies on utilities. Guta wants permanent bailout fund. One of the huge issues, of course, again, it's job losses. This time around, not necessarily people who have graduated who don't have jobs, but people who did have jobs, but because of coronavirus, who no longer have jobs. So the issue of jobs is still very high on the agenda. Of course, high on the agenda for us is the budget review. So we'll talk about all of those issues when we get there. Roland Walker.
Okay, so let me do the Daily Guide. Daily Guide has on the front page, Nana starts 70 million euro hospital in Koforidua. It's called the New Eastern Regional Hospital. It's a good one.
The New Eastern Regional Hospital. Okay.
Ultra modern. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Tears and wailing as Baumia Sir John. So rest in peace, Sir John. Was a very good man. Very, very good man. No chance for John Mahama, says Gabi Asari Ochidako. Good morning to you, Ms. Ochidako. I didn't fly to UK for COVID-19 treatment. The president. Back page, Aubameyang show of Barca move, right? Jobs did the trick, Dogbe declares. Yeah, he's on the new training regime, a new trainer, and he came out tops. Technical knockout, 8th round in that fight against Chris Avalos. David Villa, accused of sexual assault. He plays in the United States now, or used to play in the United States, I have to say. Was a former Spain and Barcelona star. Before then, I think had been playing for Sevilla, or is it Sevilla or Valencia, or one of them. Yeah. And then let's support GFA new season date. And it looks like Marco Kreku Mante, Oket Okreku. I said Marco Kreku. Oket Okreku is having some hard time with some of his insiders as far as football is related. We'll see how he's able to muddy the waters or go through. The Daily Dispatch has on the front page, EC registers 65.7% projected voters. And if you look at the numbers, the Electoral Commission has done very well in terms of the numbers per the projections. I don't know whether that will also mean that there were no ghost names after all, but it looks like now by day 20, they had hit 9.8 million people. They still have a number of days more to go. I just got a hint yesterday from a friend who is doing the registration, said it's been extended to 44 days. I don't know whether after 38 they'll do 6 more. I have to find out today. But that's what I was told. Japan donates $150,000 to save stranded Ghanaians in Lebanon. So he paid for their air passage to Ghana, you know, a charter flight and everything. That was, Mamavi's friend, Kennedy Japan. Mamavi should have been the one telling us this, but I don't know why. She likes keeping some news.
You did
off the record. You won't tell us some things because they are personal. But now it's on the front page. You let the Daily Dispatch scoop us. I think the news editor needs to talk to you why you did that. GBA condemns violence at registration centers. It took them some time. It looks like they are now finding their voices small. Christian Council also had a strong worded statement. I don't know. You had to come to the shooting at the polling or the registration center at Kaswa. GBA condemns violent attack at registration centers. And then we do have GBC channels are not being given to Asasi TV. Gabi. Sorry, Ochre Dako. Okay, and the back page is all full of. So we have how a Kumsin gun incident worrying on Mwakoban has expressed concern. You see when that political science lecturer came here. We used to call him prior to 2016. Now we don't.
Are you done?
It looks like since our conference, I'm observing a lot of people are talking.
Yes.
It's serious, though.
Yeah. Okay, let's bring our colleague Gifty up here. Gifty, we've pretty much done the reviews, but yesterday, Gifty, good morning.
Yeah, and Roland, how are you guys doing?
We're great.
We're doing great.
Your first statement is always sober. I missed you. You didn't come to work yesterday.
Roland.
I did.
But Gifty, I just wanted us to reflect a bit on what has happened with Mavis Hawakumsing. Lots of statements, lots of statements on that. After, remember yesterday, you were concerned about the fact that people were a bit quiet. Newspapers were not heavily reporting on it, even though it was a major incident. I just want to, before you come in, the police yesterday also issued a statement on the violence at registration centers, but something that they said in that statement, and I'm picking the quotes from page 16 in the Daily Graphic newspaper. They said in the statement that those who claim to receive calls or reports of illegality from representatives assigned to registration centers should promptly contact local police officers for action instead of proceeding to the centers. Their presence contributes to the alleged illegality. And then any person or group of persons, political or not, who has been arrested or will be arrested will face the consequence of the law as far as police powers are concerned. But this is just part of the many other groups that have said something, particularly with Mavis Howell-Compson. I'll leave you to do the analysis for us in terms of where we are with this matter.
Well, I'll try and do my best with the, I hope that my internet is stable today as well. So I was going to say I'm happy today to see that we're not making that matter at rest and that we've raised it back up. Yesterday, as of the time I started the polls at 3 p.m., I think about 3:30 thereabout, there were 3 statements from different organizations, which I think was good. So we had Codeo issue their statement, we had the Ghana Bar Association issue their statement, and then we had the Ghana Christian Council, which has spoken already, but also issued a statement, and they were all condemning what happened both in Banda and in Kaswa. I think it was a great thing. I just hope that it will not be the usual rhetoric. For me, I see this to be an opportunity for us to, and especially the Electoral Commission, to begin to properly regulate the system. We're seeing a lot of politicians massing up and saying we're doing checks at the registration centers, but I'm thinking if you have your representatives there, should we really be encouraging people massing up and saying we're going to visit here to see what's happening? I mean, are they Electoral Commission officers? I don't know. But of course, we all know what it's for. It's essentially for, their political interest, to make sure that, sometimes to show face, sometimes to make it look as if we're doing something, essentially to see maybe, and they'll go to a selected few. And these selected few will be places where they believe are problematic areas for them, etc. So I think that this will be an opportunity that perhaps we shouldn't miss, that the Electoral Commission will begin to regulate some of these visits by politicians to the registration centers. I think if we miss the opportunity, maybe we may not get one until we finish, and which I think will be soon. I also think it's an opportunity for us to begin to educate people on the challenge system. So if you don't think that somebody qualifies to register at a particular place, the Electoral Commission has told us that there is a process. Go pick up a form, fill it out, and let's deal with it. But it looks as if I won't allow you to go, I won't allow you to register, I won't allow it, and then it escalates into, you put in a little bit of political tensions, which may already be brewing there before we even started the registration exercise, and it just blows up. And like we saw in Banda, a 28-year-old guy who has just finished teacher training college, whose services we would need, who is going to teach our children, has just died. And because he will, just like that, So I think that it's an opportunity for us to regulate the frequency with which politicians are visiting the registration centers, especially in COVID-19 times. And I think it's also an opportunity for us to begin to educate people more on the challenge system. Don't call your MP, don't call your political figureheads and tell them that I've seen so-and-so, he doesn't belong here. I've seen so-and-so, she doesn't belong here, but I've seen that they're coming to register. Really, pick up a form and fill it out. And I think that the political parties, I don't think this will go anywhere anyway, but I'll say it anyway, should be responsible at this point. You should be responsible. It's as if they are sitting on tenterhooks. They're just waiting for an opportunity for something to ignite, and then they'll just jump at it and do politics with it. And at the end of the day, we're seeing people die and people hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be serious. Let's be serious.
I think you've said it all. It's unfortunate that even those who sit in Parliament to make the laws, where there is a challenge process, if you think somebody does not qualify, would simply say that, oh, I was called and I came and there were people who were bussed, or there are people who don't come from the area who are registering, so I asked them to leave. It's almost as if even those who are privy to the formation of the laws don't even know the laws any longer. So they go there and they try to verbally tell people to leave when that's not supposed to be the process.
They know. They just don't care. And I they also, there's this culture of impunity which we have allowed to fester. They know, but they know that, look, it's either they feel my party is in power, I can do what I want. I am the biggest opposition party in Ghana. I can do what I want, and if you take an action, I can amass people to come. Yesterday, I heard someone make an analysis, and I thought it was very good. The person said that sometimes we look at these political figureheads and we think, or maybe Hawa Komse, for example, has been able to give the party a number of votes, so perhaps she's untouchable. Or if this woman, we keep her here, she'll be able to give us. But the person said, if you look at this person's contribution to your numbers, perhaps saving her there will cost you many more numbers in other constituencies. It will cost you many more numbers from among the floating voters. So it's a balancing act that we need to do. But I think that to be sincere with yourself, look out for the interest of the nation first, and don't support things that are ridiculously wrong.
Yeah.
For our parties. And yesterday, I also heard the NDC saying, whatever means there is to protect yourself or defend yourself, by all means, go for it. And it's as if, we're doing the usual politics. I mean, we'll keep talking and hope that something changes.
I like the police statement, but it will be good for us to see results as well. I think that will even speak louder to people than just releasing a statement, even though I like very much the content of the statement yesterday. Roland, is there any other story of interest that you want us to highlight on?
Yeah, it's the president, cutting sword for a 70 million euro new Eastern Regional Hospital in Koforidua. That event took place yesterday, even though this one is just the first phase of some 280-something bed capacity building that is going to be put together. But for me, it speaks to the fact that we're growing as a country. We want to invest more in health infrastructure. And as we do this, then it means that we want to provide state-of-the-art. Now, we have to get to the point where, as we provide state-of-the-art, we provide services that are also commensurate to all these. And I think that's a good step taken by the president and his government to do this.
Are there timelines
the question that came to my mind, yes, the timeline. The question that came to my mind was whether this one was part of the 88. When COVID came, we hurriedly addressed the nation, and then we promised 88 health facilities and hospitals. So 6 hospitals and a health facility. So maybe I'll get in touch with Dr. Bernardo Kuboy and ask whether this one is the one out of the 6 forming the whole 88 as it is. So the first phase, as we have it, is going to start with the credit that has been secured, and then they'll move on to the next phase. And the first phase is going to be completed in 36 months.
36 months.
Yeah, starting.
Okay.
So that'll be, we have 24 months, then we have the next one. So that's how we have this type of structure. Then we have to replicate this in not only regions, but other districts as well. Wow. But as we seem to think, if we build one big one, then it means that the smaller ones then will support. So maybe that's the structure that we have.
Well, I want to take the opportunity to announce, because we've talked about the private sector fund. Remember, they started the initiative because of the numbers that we were recording with the COVID-19 to put up the first of its kind in Ghana, an isolation treatment center at the East Hospital. Well, thank God, with all of our supports, they have practically completed this first one, and it will be commissioned tomorrow, Friday. Yeah. Thank God for that. So congratulations to all of us. This is like a beautiful project, which is Ghanaian. This is Ghana, and we have some great CEOs and board chairs who spearheaded this whole concept with the support of the Ghana Armed Forces and every person that worked on this project. This was purely pro bono. Nobody got paid for it, but they still dedicated their time. So that's a project that will be launched tomorrow. Gifty, it will be on Pulse.
Oh, by all means, pause it. So I got a line for you, Mama Vijay Bibia Desha Pulse.
and Gifty, she has her name on the, what do you call that?
Well, Roland,
is it a plug or
this is unofficial. So I'm a project ambassador. I'm
right.
I'm a proud one.
Oh yeah, I know she is. So she has an interest. But in fact, we all have an interest. I
well,
think
thousands
this is
of us supported. I don't know why it's you alone. I supported with 100 Ghana
We are
first.
supported.
Then
I mean,
I wanted to do 1,000, but I was only able to get to 400. Okay.
So Mamavi, I think it's a great thing, and I think the Ghana Armed Forces. I mean, they're great
work.
people. And tell you what, they love watching JoyNews. I've been in a couple of training with some of them, and they just love JoyNews. So this morning, a big shout out.
Is it the CDSL or the whole? I mean, give to the woman is true.
I said some of them. So okay. I just want to send all of them a shout out this morning.
Which of them?
To the chief. Okay, the chief of defense staff, to all of them, the Ghana Army, we're grateful to them. Mamabi, I wanted to just quickly touch on the Roland's pick. Roland, about the amount involved in building the hospital. I remember being in the UK around this time, and we started discussing, Ghana's politics prior to the elections. And one of the things that came up, the MPP kept saying then was that they were going to bring Ghanaians value for our money. I'm seeing, is it 700 million euros?
No, 70 million euros.
Oh, 70 million euros. And people have said that if you put the amounts that our public sector spends on projects, you could it's almost sometimes like a double of the amounts that people within the private sector will spend on some of these projects. I don't know what has gone into the value for money that has been done in this particular project, but I hope that there has been some value for money going on there, and that this amount we're committing to one particular project is not amounts that will be able to build us maybe 2 or 3 more projects.
Well, I can tell you this is less than how much was used to build the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, the Ridge expansion. Yeah. So.
Okay, I haven't done that analysis. I also wanted to comment on the Electoral Commission. They're giving us figures. They're telling us how many people they've been able to register. I think this put aside all the issues that we had with coronavirus and everything. I like the resolve of the Electoral Commission. I thought that it was unnecessary to do a registration from scratch. I still think it's unnecessary, but I like what they have done so far. I like their resolve. I like their focus and how they've been able to do it irrespective. And looking at the numbers, it looks like they are, achieving their targets, which is great. I like the resolve. I don't think it was necessary, but I like the resolve.
I don't understand you. You like the resolve.
All right. On that note, let's spend like a minute on myjoyonline.com. Let's check out what's making headlines on our page, but also to just remind you that our president is going to Mali. That's generated some conversations. Let's check out what's on myjoyonline.com.
The president is going to
Mali. Yeah, because there's a situation in Mali, and 5 West African presidents under the regional group ECOWAS will be in Mali today to resolve. No, this is not a matter. I don't think there's a matter for Zoom. Let's do.
I think that way you can. You have to quarantine.
Directed to reduce GBC Crystal TV channels outside Communication Ministry's mandates, according to the National Media Commission, and this is emphatic, really. What the NMC is saying. If you have time, kindly click on the entire story to understand it properly. Just so senior high school students hospitalized after failed suicide attempt over alleged theft. That's a really, really sad one. I think that I opened it up. Maybe we can share a bit of that story. It said a second-year student of the Ejisu Secondary Technical Senior High School has been hospitalized after drinking liquid soap in what is believed to be an attempted suicide on campus. This was after an assistant headmaster locked him up with a colleague overnight in his office for stealing the school's electric stabilizer on Tuesday night. And this Tuesday is July 21st. According to school authorities, the two were brought in by a taxi driver who allegedly caught them climbing over the school wall with the machine. The assistant headmaster, Kofi Apia, told Love FM's Erastus Asari Donko that he asked the student to strip naked, leaving only their underwear, and lock them up in his office until the next day because they were not forthcoming with information. We talked about impunity earlier. Gifty, you talked about that, and you see how it is playing out even in this matter.
Yeah, I think that the head teachers and teachers, the power relations between head teachers and students and teachers and students, I thought that it would be getting better by now, because I mean, there's a way that you can talk to these people. There's a way that I hope we have time, but I did volunteer.
No, we don't have time.
Oh yeah, whatever. but I was just saying that I did volunteer sometime back in the UK, and in the schools, when students did anything bad, they'll be isolated somewhere, and it wasn't that bad. Sometimes they even had fruits where they are isolated.
In the UK.
No, but seriously, if we can just manage the student-teacher relationship, the power relations, if we can just manage them and make them see that we love them rather than wanting to punish them.
How do you strip somebody naked and lock them up overnight because you think they've stolen something?
It's not okay.
And there's one thing I have found out about the current generation of young children. Their mindset is a bit different. It's been influenced by current trends in media, social media. Their psychology is different. And they are very soft on the mind. Of course, you want to break them and make them tough, but in order to do that, you have to be very much interactive with them and get to know that you care and give them reason why you want to punish them. And if you don't do that, you put them in trouble.
But even this one, they haven't even confessed though. So you actually don't even know for sure if they even did it. But if they even did a thing like that, to strip them naked, lock them up in your office overnight, seriously?
Yeah, I mean, I know some students can be stubborn, but I mean, this is not okay. This is not okay.
Yeah.
Gifty, did you say that you have a thing for Liverpool or Chelsea? Which one did you say? Or Arsenal? Oh, Man City.
Also, only one support. Okay.
So do you understand what happened yesterday?
Wait, so I started with Arsenal, and I said that I have changed position. I'm now with Man City. But then I'm saying that I've also, I mean, when I heard that Arsenal had done well, I thought that maybe I should go back. Then yesterday I saw that Liverpool, in fact, yesterday when I saw the video of them lifting the trophy, I was like, oh, wow, Liverpool is the club to belong to.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Well, they waited. They had to wait for 3 decades and a couple of months to lift the trophy in an empty stadium.
What happened?
No, but I think I like about Liverpool yesterday is the thrashing of Chelsea. I mean, unbelievable. So I love them. Your enemy's enemy is your friend, and they are like my best friend this morning. Oh, say Liverpool. So for all the Chelsea fans, listen, we are bringing back what went down yesterday, the 5-3, when you thought you could come back and then it never happened. Now you're struggling to see if you can get a point at least out of Wolves.
Shame on you, Mama. We're going for sports. We'll be right back.
We're not.
We'll bring Bafakwa United to that level Sunday.
Gifty, we'll see you later on Pulse.